Hey, what's up guys? Bradley Dillon here. We are on Miss May I's tour bus today. Pretty fantastic tour bus if you ask me. But we're here with Miss May I today on the AP tour. It's definitely going to be a blast. So why don't you introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Ryan, I play bass, sing, and I'm in Miss May I. Welcome to our bus.
Alright, now first question for you guys today. If you're on the AP tour, like The Ghost Inside, Glass Cloud, The Midi Affliction, and like Monster Flames, how's that going for you guys this year? And being you guys are headlining, do you get a chance to connect with your fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's actually it's been a really good tour already. It's a big production tour for us. You don't get to do very many of the big American headliners. Usually like one a year if you're lucky. So we planned really big for this one and got a really cool production, and then along with that we teamed up with AP and got 4 awesome support bands. It's 4 bands that we like, that we want to listen to, and we were already friends with 3 of them before the tour started. The only one we didn't know was Glass Cloud. Already really good friends with them. So as far as the tour can go, it's going about as good as one can go. I mean, having a great time, which is the whole point.
So you mentioned the 4 bands you choose, or that were like picked to go on the AP tour with you. They're all pretty diverse. Did you as a band pick them, or was it AP that picked them, or like some other agency? Can you tell us more about that?
This one was, since it's the AP tour, it's kind of a tour that's meant to represent the year that AP has had, the types of bands and big name bands that were big stories that year, that were a big part of AP for that year, or that might be a big deal in the year to come. And so it's an honor for us to get that title right at the top, and then to go down the list, we knew we should pick some bands that we thought were going to be, a big band to deal with next year, really successful bands, or bands that made a big impact this year. And for us, we had 3 good friends that were already in that category. Obviously, Ghost Inside, who we've been touring with, are good friends of ours. Midi Affliction, who we've toured with a bunch, who are really making a name for themselves in America now, and already like unbelievably huge at home. And then like Monster Flames are from Ohio, good friends of ours that we've known for a long time, and they're doing great and getting ready to do a new album and all that good stuff. So I mean, it was I'm pretty sure it was a no-brainer for those 3. And then AP recommended Glass Cloud, and we listened to it, and we're like, yeah, you're right, it's a no-brainer. We should definitely include this band. And then as soon as we met them first day tour, the great dudes. It's cool. I think the diversity of the bill is what's going to help sell it. There are too many bands around in America right now for kids to be, and there's so many tours to choose from, so many great ones. So the more diverse and exciting you can make a package, the better it's going to be for people who are paying for the ticket.
So with the diversity of this tour, is that something, whether it's in your control or not, is that something that if you have an influence on in later tours, you're going to try to make the tours more diverse instead of like only appealing to a very select group of people?
Yeah, I mean, it's diversity within the metal world, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Miss May I is the kind of band that, can step out and take bands that aren't metal on a headlining tour with us, But if just diversity within the metal realm, like there are lots of metal bands who sound different, doing it different ways, different messages. I think we have more fun when we have a tour like that. But there are lots of different bands with different influences, who sound different. I would think for fans that it's like that too, that they would like that. But sometimes it's not like that. It depends every tour. The music industry is it's always changing. Things are always moving. So it's hard to say if a diverse tour is always the best way to go. Sometimes you might have 3 bands that are really similar that are just going to crush and draw thousands of kids because they're like the perfect 3 bands to tour together. So it's hard to say. It's always different. But as far as the diversity making this tour fun, it definitely does. It makes this one way more exciting.
Now, that actually brings me to our next question, because you mentioned, 3 big bands that draw thousands of people. You guys were just in South America with Chelsea Green asking Alexander, what was that tour like for you guys? Because I don't know if you've ever been to South America before, but I've heard from a lot of people that the crowds go absolutely nuts for some of the bigger bands in the States.
Yeah, it was totally different than an American tour. When you do an American tour, I feel like the fans get the opportunity because of the economy and the ability for America's a little more accessible for bands in South America. It just is an easier market to get into. So there are so many more tours here. So fans that have the opportunity, see, if you have the money, you can see 5 shows a week if you wanted. So in South America, with it being much more rare for tourists to get there, you're just perceived more as a rock star, I guess, when you're there. The fans are just so much more enthralled by the bands being there and so excited about seeing these foreign bands. So it was insane. You weren't supposed to leave the venue once you were inside the venue because the crowds outside were so big that you get caught out there. Kids would be mauling you to take pictures and stuff depending on what member of the band you were, and it was crazy. It was wild. And asking Alexandria were just like, it was like watching your friends who turned into rock stars. It's crazy. We're in a different continent with 2,000 people in a room who know every single word to all 3 bands on the Bills songs. It was pretty crazy.
All right, now we were actually talking about this just before we started the interview, and I was actually really impressed by this. But if you could bring back one band that broke up or went on hiatus or had band members die, who would it be and why?
I chose one earlier, but I'm gonna choose 2 now.
Go for it.
I would choose. Man, I'm gonna choose 3. 9 Inch Nails would be good. White Zombie, obviously, and Pantera. Those 3. I don't even have to explain why. If you don't know why those bands are so sweet, you need to reevaluate. Think about what you're doing.
So do you? That actually brings me to the next question. But what do you listen to when you're on the road? Because I interviewed Levi at Warped Tour, and he actually doesn't listen to a lot, which was kind of threw me for a loop. But I think that's kind of cool, to be diverse and stuff like that. But yeah, what do you listen to on the road?
I'm the opposite of Levi. I listen to a lot of metal. As far as all-time favorite bands that I just listen to all the time, I love, like I said, 9 Inch Nails, White Zombie, Pantera. I like Marilyn Manson. I like the Perfect Circle, Tool. Those are all my go-tos that I'm play those at any time, and I'm excited about it. But as far as I'm all over the place on new bands. I got random bands in different areas that I'm really into. New Silosis is crazy, really sweet. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I got Memphis Mayfire blew me away this summer. That's a band that we'd never played with that I really like. It's like a new modern band I've been listening to. And then I like a lot of random different stuff too. I'm really into 3 Days Grace for some reason. Really into 10 Years. I think 10 Years is sweet. I like a lot of stuff. I don't really venture outside of the rock and roll or metal world too much though. Kind of stuck in my ways, I guess.
All right. Last question for you. Obviously, you guys just wrapped up. Well, not just wrapped up, but you played a huge run on Warped Tour this year. And as you know, over the years, Warped Tour has really vaulted certain bands' careers. Blink-182 to All Time Low and stuff like that. What was that experience like for you guys?
It was cool. We did it the year before as a, I believe it's called the Advent stage the year we did it. Just like the Monster stage last year, and it's the second biggest stage, and it was cool, big crowds, tour festival environment, touring with Devil Wears Prada and August Burns Red and all these crazy huge bands the first year, but we were in the we were in the lower tier, and we had a great time, and it was awesome, but it was cool to come back the year after, having just experienced it, knowing what to expect, and then come back and get a chance to do main stage the second year. We came into it knowing exactly what to bring, what to expect, better idea on how to pick merch that our fans would enjoy, better idea on, pretty much experience every single aspect of the tour. And at the same time, we were now on the same stage as bands like The Used and Anti-Flag and Taking Back Sunday. So it was like the opportunity to play with all these bands you never thought, especially being in a metal band, that you would get the chance to, you occasionally play with bands like that on random festival shows, but to do an entire summer tour with them, or every single day you're on the same stage, is pretty crazy. And to meet bands that, 8, 10 years ago we were paying to go to Warped Tour to see, that sort of thing.
Alright, well thanks so much for watching this interview today, and thank you for helping our fans get to know you and stuff like that. Again, this has been Bradley Dillon and
Ryan from Miss May.
And be sure to check out this interview and more on introduceyourselfzine.com. Take care. Sweet.